If you're gonna soft shoe me and soft press me and give me 2 yards, I'm just gonna climb and get on your toes. And that's exactly what JSN does here.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This is 4 Downs Film. It's your boy Ray G, joined as always by my man Damian Parson at DP_NFL on Twitter. I'm at Ray GQ. This is the Draft Network, doing what we do best, damn it, the draft, film, player analysis, and we got a really good player that we want to talk about today. Dame, some people are saying it's the second coming of Justin Jefferson. I don't know about all that, but they're saying the second coming of Jets. But we got a really good player on tap today, somebody that everybody, I think we're all excited about this young man, and it's a really good sort of intro and preview to what we hope to see this Saturday versus Notre Dame and for this 2022 college football season. Jaxon Smith-Njigba is on tap today. Dame, how you doing? And what are your just overall thoughts on JSN before we get into the tape?
Bro, I'm feeling good. Just got a fresh cut, got lined up. And like Deion Sanders Primetime says, you look good, you feel good, you play good. So that's the mindset I'm in right now. In terms of JSN, man, we're excited to see this young man. A lot of hype over the past 2 seasons, even coming from his former teammates, Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson, said that he's better than they are, right? So like you look at it and you saw the production he put out last year, Ray. I'm excited to see him in that wide receiver 1 role and see what he can do, because he's got some tools in his bag that's going to allow him to be successful, I believe, early on in the NFL.
Well, let's talk about those stats. 95 receptions, 1,606 yards, and 9 touchdowns, averaging about 16.9 a reception. And with him assuming that wide receiver 1 role at Ohio State this season, the numbers should be ridiculous with C.J. Stroud. But let's dive into the tape, DP. Let's dive into the tape and some things that you noticed on film that you really like, some things that maybe we want to see him improve upon this season in college football. So tee us up. What are we looking at right here?
So right here, it's got a little bit of a stack set, reduced alignment. He's in the slot. He's number 2. If you count from the sideline, 1, 2, 3, he's number 2. And the cone highlights him, and he's dealing with a corner that shows press alignment. He's going to try to get his hands on him and reroute him. But just the quickness, that's one thing that consistently shows up on film for JSN. At the release point, he shows really good footwork, quickness, and hand fighting to get by. He quickly slips him, and then look at him stack the DB vertical up the seam. The only reason why this throw wasn't on point is because the quarterback got pressured immediately. And he was trying to get it out of his hands. But if he had a clean pocket, this is a touchdown rate, because you're going to see him. And for a guy, and we're going to talk about the one area that he's really criticized on is, okay, he's not the most explosive, or he doesn't have the best long speed, but this young man knows how to get open. He uses quickness, he uses manipulation skills, and just savviness, right, to get open. He tracks the ball very well, which you're going to see on some other throws too. But if Stroud's not pressured here, this is a touchdown. Like I said, the ability to slip the jam. Now it's like, okay, and this looks like a linebacker, which I get it. He's not the fastest guy, but this is probably not the best this is not the best situation. I understand that linebacker is wearing number 11 as well, Ray, but it doesn't. They're not equal. You know what I'm saying? They are not equal, and you saw the ability to stack, get vertical upfield, and just win the route and win the rep. Because, like I said, finding that spatial awareness, understanding that these safeties are more split, and they're dropping to their zones now. What does that mean? The middle of the field is wide open for me.
It's a good play by JSN, and I like what you talked about, the slip off the line, right? The corner looked like he was going to press, kind of gives that little shoulder lean to get around that, make sure he doesn't the cornerback doesn't get square hands on him, right? Doesn't hit him in the chest, whatever the defender is. And then that is good ball tracking, man, settles down in there, and I get it. It's a linebacker chasing him down, which 11 ends up picking him up, but a good play by JSN, and something I think we're going to see a lot of this fall from the Ohio State Buckeyes. What do we have right here? I see you got the cone highlighting JSN right here at the top of the screen.
Yes, sir. We're dealing with another man-to-man situation right now. You look at the top of the screen, you're going to see, I think that's Verone McKinley, the safety, showing he's more shaded to the right hash and right side of the field, which is kind of dangerous when you're leaving JSN one-on-one with a nickel corner. And you're going to see him go vertical up the seam, boom, patience, nice little skip release, get step
Yeah.
on the toes. Anytime a guy is given, Devontae Adams talked about this on the Pivot podcast. Shout out to Ryan Clark and the guys, but he talked about how if you're gonna soft shoe me and soft press me and give me 2 yards, I'm just gonna climb and get on your toes, and that's exactly what JSN does here. Then the DB basically gets flat-footed, tries to shoot a hand. He gives him a move, swipes the hand down, and now it's like, okay, I've stacked you. Let me get
Yeah.
vertical, and it's separation. The ball's on point, hits him right in the breadbasket, and he scores the touchdown. But it starts at the release point. It
Yeah.
starts winning early for a guy, and that's the key. He's not going to run the 4.4s. I'd be shocked if he did, to be honest. But we know that these kids train with track coaches to run the 40 as fast as possible. But I'll be surprised if he hit 4.4. But for him, a guy that doesn't have that speed, Ray, winning early is the key for him, right?
Yeah.
And you brought up Justin Jefferson. Shout out to our other national scout, Brentley Wiseman. Brentley dropped this name on Twitter, and I haven't been able to unsee it since. And it was Keenan Allen. And I
Okay.
really loved that comp because Keenan Allen was another guy who wasn't explosive, wasn't fast, but he's so nuanced, so savvy, and so great as a route runner.
Yeah, and I love that winning early because JSN, we'll see. I don't think he's got that kind of elite speed. I don't think he's a 4.42 like Justin Jefferson. But Keenan Allen wins early, wins off the line of scrimmage, and he ran a 4.6, 4.7 at the combine. So let's go. What do we have right here? You got a safety. You got 2 safeties highlighted with JSN again working in the slot. Just want to keep that in mind. Working in the slot. What are we about to see right here?
More is zone coverage here. I believe it. I can't remember if it's cover 2 or cover 6, but it's zone coverage. You're gonna see JSN's going to get into the middle of the defense, sits.
Yep.
Now secure the ball, right? Make yourself available. Now this is where he can be special at after the catch. You turn the ball up, you turn the upfield, and down you're reading and cutting. You see the spatial awareness, know that hey, that safety is nearby. That right hash safety is nearby. He's gonna close on me. Boom. Plant, get right by him. Now cut back across this guy's face, make him miss. Now, like I said, he doesn't have that long speed. If this was a twitchy, more explosive receiver, that underneath defender, that chase down defender,
Yeah.
more than likely doesn't catch him because he's able to shift gears and get into the open field, and you'd be able to see what CJ Stroud sees. Look at the space here, right? He finds that soft spot right in the middle of the team's logo. Like this is where I'm gonna plant myself. And now, okay, I got the ball in my hand. He sees the defense, boom,
It's nice.
and it's like it's the body angling after the catch. I always talk about it with running backs too. When he turns this up, Ray, and when you right here, boom, he's leaning. He's literally showing the safety. Hey, I'm keeping outside. I'm gonna keep outside leverage with the ball in my hand. Safety over distributes. Now, boom, I'm gonna snap it back inside, and it's like easy money for him, right? He's able to cut and plant just so effortlessly. He's not, like I say, he's not the most explosive, but he's really quick and has really good short area quickness and burst.
What I like about this too is when you're facing a zone, you know there are going to be defenders around you once you make that catch. And we've seen some receivers catch it and they look to fall down. Jason gets it and immediately gets his head around, right? Secures the ball first, not thinking about the defenders around him, gets his head around, and then that gives him the opportunity, Dame, to set this safety up, right? Look at him. He's pushing hard. It looks like he's going to take it. You know, you watch this from this angle, it really looks like he's going to try to carry this thing outside, right? And just keep pushing towards the sideline. Gets that safety to overcommit, like you said, put that foot in the ground, plant, get upfield, and pick up yards after the catch, which JSN is really good at. And I thought that was a very good point that you made about identifying that zone, sitting down, securing the ball, and making a quick decision.
Absolutely.
What do we got?
Absolutely, man. Again, I like to highlight the safeties for receivers because it shows what you can do pre-snap, where they are, and then where they're going to be post-snap. So we're gonna run it here, and I believe this is the play where he runs kind of an in breaker, boom, angles inside, gets inside leverage immediately. Again, against off coverage in the slot, DB is giving him a little bit of cushion. But the fact of the matter is he's able to work inside, take inside leverage. Now, not just take inside leverage, but when he snaps out at the top of his stem, the top of his route, Ray, you're going to see it. Boom. Snaps here, separation, right?
Yep.
And it's easy. It's an easy window. He creates easy windows on grass, right? He's not somebody that's going to, he may not high point the best, or he may not be the most explosive, but he knows how to get open. And at the end of the day, that's always priority one as a receiver. Get open. I get open first, catch the ball second, and then make
Yeah,
something happen third. And he knows how to get open.
look
Guys
at
trying to get
that.
his hand on him. He's trying to be savvy and get the little jersey tug. Ray, your former DB, you know what that's like. That Darrell Reeves like, all right, I'm gonna
If
be
you
in
ain't
trails, so
cheating,
I'm gonna
you
grab
ain't
that jersey.
trying. If you ain't cheating, you ain't
Correct.
trying.
Correct, brother. So he's able to get away from him and just look at the separation he creates. Right, that's about almost 2 to 3 yards of
Yep.
separation where he's able to catch the ball. And if it was a little bit more space, he could have turned this up cleanly and more than likely scored. Right, he does things so well in terms of finding space, understanding leverage, and manipulating defenders.
I agree, man. Nothing else needs to be said there. You did an excellent job with that one. Here he goes, motioning. You got a lot of stuff highlighted right here, Dame. You got a lot
Man to
going on.
man.
You got man-to-man coverage. Is this a safety is free over the top?
Yep.
Safety's free. Looks like he's cheating over to is that JSN and Garrett Wilson side right there. You got Olave and I believe Rucker at the top of the screen. Let's see what happens. Walk us through this play.
So again, step on the toes, guys. He gets flat-footed. He starts to bend at the waist, trying to get his hands on JSN to impede him and reroute him. Right, kind of trying to play some catch technique. And JSN does a good job getting up on his toes and putting him in a compromising position. Now, boom, shift gears, get your hands off me. Now let me get vertical. Right now, the ball
Right.
is underthrown. The ball is underthrown. If this pass was thrown over the top, this is a touchdown, right?
Touchdown.
But he still scores. He still scores. Like he still scores on this play, right? Because it's the ball tracking, it's the strength, the play strength in the contact situation, playing through contact, and then keeping his balance.
Yeah.
Right, like you motion him, you see that okay, this is man coverage. That defender shifts over with him. Now the quarterback knows that's not CJ Stroud, but CJ Stroud was out with the shoulder injury at this time. But again, ball's underthrown. Make the play, right? You got to come back to the ball and give it your best effort. And he does that. He's got a defender draped all across him, all over him, breaks through it, backpedals into the end zone,
Touchdown.
and it's touchdown, man.
Yeah, this is impressive balance by JSN right here because a lot of receivers they fall right here. Like that's it. Good,
Yes.
and this would have been a good catch, right? Underthrown ball,
Yeah.
catches that, he falls down at the 5. They punch it in. This is a good play. But that balance, right, and that nose for the end zone. He knows it's right
Yes.
there. He's falling down, extend for the end zone. It's a good play. Now, I'll ask you, is this the best type of route right here? Like, what is this? I watched this game, and I'm just, it just
I
seems
initially
like
thought it
poor
was going to be
DP
like an
play
out
too.
and up. Yeah, that too. So I thought it was going to be like an out and up, almost like a double move. But when the DB tries to get his hands
Yeah.
on him, tries to 2-hand jam him, and JSN was like, "All right, that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and work through that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and stack you." But yeah, the route, I'm not too sure what route that exactly was. Ray.
A little curvy go route. I don't know what the route is, but
I'm
I
not
think
sure
what
that
happened
was.
is like you said, he knew he had that DB. It was barbecue chicken, so he was like, "Let's just turn it up, give me the ball, and then I'll put it in the end zone." Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And to me, I think it was going to be. I initially thought it was going to be an out and up. I believe it's going to be a slot fade. Especially against man to man, you run that slot fade. I believe Garrett Wilson runs a quick
Yep,
curl.
he does.
So now that outside defender squeezes down, and you see what the safety is. So you got ample grass for the quarterback to lay it out there. For Jason to run underneath it, and I think that's what it was going to be. It was more of a slot fade, but it looks weird because the DB got his hands on him.
And it was underthrown. I think you're right. I think
Yeah,
that you look at what Garrett Wilson did, he's clearing that out. I think it was a slot fade. DB got hands on him, ball was underthrown, made the play look a little wonky, but JSN is a super talented player, so he made it work, right? All right, Dame, we got one more play that I added on here, and this was from the Rose Bowl, and this was the game that, for a lot of casual fans, sort of like put JSN on the map for real. I think he had 300 and something yards this game, like 15 receptions. He just went ballistic. But this is where I hope to see some improvement. So JSN is motioning across the field. This is him motioning towards the bottom, right? Wide open. Wide open. He catches this, and he's run down, man. It's just,
Yep.
speed isn't everything, but you notice it on a play like this. Wide open. I'm just this should be a touchdown. Should it not, Dame? Should this be
No,
this should be a touchdown here.
no, 100%, man. He has the space, he has the room. The scheme worked perfectly. The play was designed and
Yeah.
executed perfectly, right? Like they put that motion defender and put those DBs in a compromising position, put them in conflict, creating a wide open space for JSN. Now all he has to do is shift gears, right? But it's like he stalls out and then he fumbles because he's caught from behind. I would definitely like to see him work on, you know, not so much like on the field, but in his workouts, work on more explosive, do more
Yeah.
explosive workouts to increase the explosive muscles in his body. And I would say, give a forward lean, man. Don't be so upright. Give a forward lean. Cut through the wind. Think back to my track days and how they teach you how to run through the wind and keep your body more aerodynamic.
Yeah.
So I would like to see him kind of lean a little bit more instead of being so upright. And it's like
DP,
he's
this should
because
have been a
it's
touchdown,
all a
man.
long stride. It's all a stride with him, right? Like, man,
Ugh.
lean that body in. Like, for one, secure the ball. That's first things first. Like, secure the ball. Make sure even if you are caught, that doesn't happen. You don't fumble. But like you said, this should have been six. This should have been six, man. Because
I mean,
Clark Phillips, I think it's number 8.
8.
He
Yep.
he bites on the quick curl, on the quick hitch. He bites on that, right? He bites on this
He sure
route
does.
while you're wide open and receiving this pass. We're gonna see here. Boom.
Yep.
He bites on it.
Yep.
And bro, like he looks like he's breakdancing when you pause it, and JSN catches it. Now this should be a touchdown, and that's
Yeah.
where people are going to criticize him and critique him. Like, hey, is he a true number one heading into the NFL, or is he a good number two? And that's where we talk about ceilings and floors for players.
I'm with you, DP. I think you hit the nail right on the head, man. Great player, and just in the 6 clips that we showed today, we talked about 1,600 yards and 9 touchdowns. We saw at least 3 touchdowns that were left on the field, and probably
Mm-hmm.
another 250 yards that he probably could have had. And hopefully, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, you can't improve your speed or explosiveness. That's not true. You can. You can become more explosive. I'm not saying if you try hard, you can go be Usain Bolt. No, that's not going to happen.
Right.
But you can improve some of those areas. And as good as he is, one of the big things that's missing for me is that explosive gear, because I see that out of Kayshon Boutte. I see that out of some of these other wide receivers. And I'm not saying you can't thrive and succeed in the NFL without running a 4-3 or 4-4. We know that you can. But when you're talking about a guy that you're throwing out there, you're going to pair him with Justin Fields. Let me tell you something. You want to pair him with Mac Jones? He better be explosive. You better be
Right.
explosive. You want those ones, right? New England Patriots. Brentley had Jaxon Smith-Njigba slotted to the Patriots at number 12 overall. They take JSN. He's going to be counted on to be the one. And you better hope he's got the explosiveness to really aid that quarterback, right? So I love seeing them paired. I saw one of the mocks. I don't know if it was you or Joe or Keith that had JSN to the Minnesota Vikings. And if that happens, he's a great number 2 option behind Justin
Yeah.
Jefferson, right?
Yeah.
A great number 2 option. I just want to see some of those improvements this year, and we get a good shot to see that this weekend versus Notre Dame. Any final thoughts that you
sure.
have, DP, on JSN and what you expect to see this season from him?
Man, I expect to see a guy that's going to come out and try to make his claim and plant his flag as wide receiver 1 in this class. And, the main thing for him is if he doesn't improve on the explosiveness, it's going to, of course, limit his ceiling and those things. But it's going to be, all right, you think about, like you said, you brought up the New England Patriots. I think I had him to the New England in my mock.
Yep.
Brentley had him there as well. And it's like, okay, with the NFL offense that he goes into, what role is he going to be put in? What the offense is going to dictate how productive he is. Is he the number 1 in terms of, or is he the point? Where it's like, okay, New England, the slot has typically been a point of their offense, right? The Julian Edelmans, the Amendolas, the Wes Welkers, and Troy Browns for the past 20 years. So can he fit that role? Absolutely. And luckily for him, he would have Tyquan Thornton on the opposite side with that explosive speed to help him. But if he goes to a team like Chicago, that also works too in the realm, not in the top 10 like because the ceiling, I'm not there, but where Chicago could possibly be picking, but he would pair well with Darnell Mooney. I mean, that Darnell Mooney's that deep threat. He can line up beside him and be that interchangeable piece, that movable, all the different things. So with him, man, I expect to see a young man go out there and ball out. He's got a nice test. They got Cam Hart, which is a big cover threes type of zone corner. If we do see more outside reps, and Ray, that's the part that I want to see. I want to see him more outside.
Okay.
Can he win outside consistently this season, which will then kind of help paint a better picture or even a clearer picture on how you project into the NFL?
Well, there it is. 4 Downs with Damian Parson. It's your boy Ray G. Make sure you're following Dame on Twitter at DP_NFL. Comment below. Let us know who you want to see. Let us know your thoughts on Jaxon Smith-Njigba. I get it, right? He's a good player, but every player has something, an area that they can improve upon. And luckily, like you said, he gets a tough test early on versus Notre Dame in this new look offense with what's my guy? Marcus
Freeman.
Marcus Freeman at head coach, man. I'm excited to watch Notre Dame, excited for college football this weekend. Stay tapped into the Draft Network. We got content hitting your airwaves every single day. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, like the content, and we'll be back next week with more 4 Downs Film with my man DP. For Ray G, I'm out of this thing. Y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy college football. Peace.